Angels are crying. You are forgetting who you really are. This message was hidden in the clouds, but it's yours. Open before it disappears. The morning sky opened today like a letter sealed with light. Dawn spilled across the horizon in folds of silver and rose, as though heaven itself had bent down and tucked a secret inside the clouds, waiting for eyes willing to see. And in that trembling silence, the words arrived, not from the mouth of man, but from the breath of eternity itself. Angels are crying. You are forgetting who you really are. This is not poetry. This is a divine timestamp, carved into the fragile hour between sleep and waking, when the veil is thin and the spirit can still hear. It is the hour when the Archangel bends close, when Michael himself whispers over the wounded soul, when the one who remembers your true name calls out before it fades into the noise of the world. Heaven has drawn near, and the question is, will you hear before it vanishes? Forgetting is not harmless. Forgetting is deadly. When you forget, your purpose shrinks, your voice falters, and your destiny weakens under the weight of shadows. You become smaller than what heaven inscribed you to be, a dim reflection of the brilliance written over your life. And angels weep, not because they doubt your strength, but because they know the cost of your silence. This is not for the crowd. This is not a broadcast to the multitude. It is for you, the one who wakes with a name burning on the tongue, the quiet watcher who senses a kingdom not seen, the one who still remembers that there is more. To you alone the clouds have opened, and to you alone the invitation is given. But to receive it, a posture must be met. Not striving, not clamoring, but silence. Stillness. Humility. Readiness to obey. The angels found this message hidden in the sky, drenched in sorrow, and they hold it out like a lamp in their trembling hands. But the hour is short, and the vision will not linger forever. If you remain distracted, if you remain divided, it will fade back into heaven's folds and be lost. A hush is already present in your soul, a hush that matches the silence above. Open now, before even that is stolen. Open before it disappears. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. I call upon the Archangel Michael now, mighty protector and steadfast warrior of heaven's army. His wings are stretched wide over you, his sword gleaming with the fire of truth. He is not distant. He is not delayed. In this very breath, he stands guard over your heart, commanding the shadows to retreat and the lies to scatter like ash in the wind. And I tell you with urgency, this moment is holy. This moment is not to be wasted. Within the next 2 breaths, heaven leans in, waiting for the word that will open your soul. Do you feel it? The interruption. That sudden stillness, as if the whole world has paused mid-step. It is no accident. Heaven has walked into the room. The earth grows silent when the eternal draws near, and right now, silence is your altar. Do not explain this away. Do not smother it with logic, for this message carries heaven's signature. It is sealed with the tears of angels, and it cannot be reduced to mere imagination. Hear me, chosen one. Yes, you. The one with the restless spirit that no comfort of this world can still. the one who has searched for answers in places too small to contain your destiny. Heaven has marked you, and that is why this word comes like lightning through the cloud, tearing open your forgetfulness. For the cry of angels is not general, it is specific. Their weeping tastes like rain, their call sounds like a mother's name, their breath smells of cedar and dawn. This message is alive. It has weight. It has scent. It has sound. And it is hunting for the ears that still remember how to hear. So let me ask you now, when did you stop answering? When did you stop responding to the voice that first called your name? The voice that said, "You are mine." When did distraction become more familiar than devotion? This forgetting is not small. It is theft. It steals your identity. It shrinks your horizon. It closes doors that were opened for you before the foundation of time. That is why angels weep. That is why the heavens press close. There is one condition to receive what is being spoken: obedience. Not grand performance, not religious ritual, but humility. Lower your voice. Unclench your fists. Allow the altar inside you to be rekindled. I see it now, flickering in the silence, a quiet altar hidden deep in your spirit. Tonight, it will either be buried in ashes or set ablaze once more. The choice is in your breath. Do not imagine this is theory. This is revelation. Think of a scroll rolled tight and hidden in the folds of the clouds. It cannot be opened by those who stand tall and pry. It unfurls only to those who kneel. Heaven resists the proud, but bends low to the humble. Bend now. Kneel now. Bow your spirit and listen. For if you refuse, the consequences are not light. You will drift into imitation, living the life others assign to you, losing the internal map that once led you to holy fire. You will become small in a world that needs you radiant. But if you yield, if you whisper yes, angels will descend like watchmen around your bed. They will keep your name. They will steady your path. They will silence the mocking voices. So breathe now. Slowly. Speak aloud, even in a whisper. I am listening. This is not empty speech. The moment you utter it, the heavens register your voice, and angels bend low, their tears transforming into weapons of protection on your behalf. Hear this now. Heaven is attending. They attend not to the crowd, but to you. To your yes. To your surrender. And once you open, the cry of angels will no longer be grief. It will be triumph. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1414 is now surrounding you. The air has shifted. Quiet threats move like shadows, unseen yet near. You have felt them, whispers wrapped in gossip, congratulations that sound hollow, handshakes that leave your spirit unsettled, smiles that shine with teeth, but never reach the eyes. This is not your imagination. It is the mystery of hidden opposition. There are watchers who observe from the corners, waiting for your steps to falter. They know something of you, but not all. They see fragments, but they cannot comprehend the fullness of what heaven has written over your name. Betrayal rarely comes dressed as an enemy. It walks in familiar clothes. It speaks in voices you once trusted. It appears in meetings where corners are cut, where your excellence is diminished so another can rise. It lingers in the unsent message, the delayed response, the subtle exclusions that leave you asking, "What have I done?" And yet, the truth is not what they suggest. The truth is that your spirit has become too radiant for the shallow to endure. Listen to your unrest. It is not weakness. It is prophecy. Dreams repeat themselves. A name echoes in your sleep. The same signs surface again and again. This dissonance is heaven tapping your shoulder, telling you, "Pay attention." The shift is already here. Confusion, distrust, sleepless nights, the ache of loneliness. All of these are signals that the ground beneath you is changing. Do not despise these feelings. Name them. Shame, anger, betrayal, fear. Each is a clue, not a sentence. Yes, there are watchers, human and spiritual, marking your small victories, cataloging them as if they could contain you in a ledger. They steal praise that was yours. They redirect blessings with carefully chosen words. They shut doors while smiling, masking sabotage as oversight. Do not mistake politeness for purity. Heaven is exposing what is hidden, but only to those who listen. Think of the friend whose tone changes when you succeed, the colleague who shifts the story to claim what you built, the partner who keeps score as though love were a contest. These are not accidents. They are signals. They are the proof that the unseen war is real. And yet, you must not collapse into suspicion. This is not paranoia. It is discernment. Heaven is teaching you to see without fear, to notice without being consumed. For every subtle betrayal, there is a greater restoration. What looks like failure is not the end. It is a redirection. The wound that they watch so closely will be the very place where heaven pours healing. They see the cut. Heaven sees the scar becoming a crown. Angels weep at the pain, but they also rise with the promise of reversal. So I tell you, become a witness to your own life. Record the patterns. Journal the signs. Write down the dreams. Trace the threads. For when the revelation arrives, you will see that none of this was wasted. Nothing was random. Heaven has been speaking through the disruption. And now, I leave you with this cliff, a line that will echo. They are watching the wound, but heaven is watching the restoration. Type "I am protected" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1717 is now over you. Beloved, as heaven unveils these mysteries, remember this. Every word spoken here is more than teaching. It is warfare for souls. When you help carry this message, you are sowing light into dark places, planting seeds that will break chains for someone who has forgotten their name. I hear the Spirit saying, "What you release into my kingdom, I will release into your life, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." I invite you, as one who is chosen, to join in this mission. Your support is not for a channel, it is for the harvest. When you give through Super Thanks, through membership, or through the PayPal link in the description, you are fueling the rivers of living water that carry this word donations. This is not a donation, it is a prophetic act. As you release, heavens open. As you sow, oil pours. As you give, fire multiplies. I bless every hand that sows. May your gift return as restoration in areas the enemy thought were lost. Do not delay. Move now as heaven moves. Be the reason another soul hears. You are remembered. Do not mistake what you are facing for ordinary trouble. What you see with your eyes is only the surface. What presses against you in flesh and bone is but the shadow of a larger war. The conflict surrounding you is not random. It is intentional. It is not punishment. It is preparation. Heaven has permitted pressure, not to break you, but to refine you into one who remembers who you are. For the cry of the angels is not only grief, it is also witness. They weep because they see how chosen you are, how costly your destiny is, how necessary this refining must be. You are not merely suffering. You are being shaped. Like gold in the fire, you are being separated from what is false, what is temporary, what cannot carry the weight of your assignment. The heat is not cruelty, it is clarity. Every press, every concealment, every disappointment is a divine mechanic working to strip away what you do not need. The silence you feel is not abandonment, it is orchestration. When the world hides its hand from you, it forces you to reach only for the hand of the divine. This is heaven's design, though the enemy would twist it into despair. Hear me. Your attacks are proof of your calling. The resistance you face is not evidence of weakness, but of threat. The enemy is not investing energy into those without potential. His fury is reserved for the ones carrying something that cannot be replicated. That is why the betrayal stings. That is why the road feels narrow. That is why confusion clouds your mind. It is because you have been marked as dangerous to darkness, and every attempt is meant to make you forget what angels still cry out. You are more than you believe. Picture it, your life like a tower under siege. Arrows fly. Stones strike. Fires rise at its gates. Yet within, the king himself dwells, and the tower will not fall. Imagine yourself as metal under the refiner's fire, every impurity rising, every weakness exposed, but when the heat lifts, what remains is pure, strong, unbreakable. You are not a victim of chaos. You are an arrow in flight. Though bent by the winds, though shaken in its course, it will not miss its target. Do not fear what you feel. Fear yields compromise, but stillness yields revelation. The way you respond in this conflict determines whether you rise sovereign or shrink small. Heaven is not measuring the size of the storm. Heaven is measuring the posture of your heart. Will you lash out, or will you bow low? Will you strive, or will you rest in the God who fights unseen? So take hold of these categories heaven offers you now. Discernment, whose voice do you allow to shape your path? Authority, whose name covers you when your own feels weak? Allocation, what resources, what time, what energy are you stewarding for the kingdom? These are not minor questions. They are battle strategies. Anchor yourself with sacred rites. Declare in the morning, I am remembered. I am not forgot you. Angels attend me. Write a covenant and hide it under your pillow. Keep one secret between you and heaven as a sign of intimacy. Do not underestimate the power of faithfulness in small things, for heaven records what gossip ignores. Learn to read the signs. When digits repeat, when dreams persist, when unexpected doors creak open, do not dismiss them. These are breadcrumbs of the Spirit leading you through the fog. And remember, never fight alone. Even the mightiest wars call for elders, mentors, and companions to carry the weight. Choose one, trust deeply, and let them walk beside you. For the more you see with heaven's sight, the less frantic you will be. Gentleness will cloak you, not weakness, but strength under control. The storm will rage, but your spirit will be still. And when the conflict ends, you will not emerge broken. You will emerge sovereign. Mark this truth. This conflict is the refining fire that will either make you small or make you sovereign. Your response decides. Type "I am victorious" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing God 2222 is now resting upon you. I must speak plainly now. A shift is coming. A hand is already moving behind the curtain. Someone prepares to act, and heaven has allowed you this warning so you will not be caught unaware. Within the next 3 cycles, within 72 hours, the pressure will rise. Conversations will change tone. Calendars will rearrange themselves. People you thought were steady will suddenly lean in new directions. This is not coincidence. It is orchestration. The enemy is restless, but heaven has already seen the plot. Angels weep not because they are powerless, but because they know the sting of betrayal and the ache of delayed justice. They cry, yet even their tears are weapons, sharp as blades in the unseen realm. Pay attention. You will notice signs if you quiet yourself enough to see. There will be hushed conversations cut short when you enter. There will be subtle alignments. Those who once ignored each other will suddenly find common ground, their bond formed not by truth, but by opposition to your light. Watch the shifts in tone, the pauses in speech, the unspoken hesitations. These are the tremors before the wave. But hear me, do not let suspicion become your master. This is not a call to paranoia. It is a call to discernment. Heaven reveals, not to frighten, but to prepare. You will feel it in your body. The tightening in your chest, the sudden heat that wakes you in the night, the chain of small coincidences that echo louder than thunder. These are not random sensations. They are spiritual alarms. The Spirit is whispering, be alert. The plot is near. Yet take courage. This warning is a shield. You are not abandoned to walk blind into the net. Heaven has sent its watchmen ahead of you. What then should you do? Guard yourself with wisdom. Document the words spoken to you. Write down what you sense in prayer and set boundaries that keep your peace intact. When provoked, hold your tongue. Silence is not weakness. It is weapon. If you refuse to strike first, you allow heaven to strike on your behalf. For the battle is not won by shouting. It is won in stillness. Set aside a window for focused prayer. A single day, a 24-hour watch where you speak simple words aloud. My name is covered. My steps are guarded. My covenant stands. These declarations are not empty. They create walls around you that no plot can penetrate. Angels stand at those walls, flaming swords in their hands, ensuring that what is yours cannot be taken. Understand this. Not all escalation is meant for harm. Some shifts come only to clear the obstruction, to move out what blocks your way, to force into the open what has remained hidden too long. When you feel the shaking, do not fear. It may be the very earthquake that frees you from the prison. If they move to take, they will grasp what was never theirs. If heaven moves to give, no hand can hold it back. Do you hear it? The sound of heaven's army preparing. Like swords sharpening in unison. Like brakes being loosed on a wheel that has long been stalled. The cry of angels grows sharper, not only sorrowful, but ready for battle. The warning is not to make you tremble, but to make you steady. So here is your charge. Do not rush. Do not strike. Do not fear. Be watchful. Be silent. Be grounded. Allow the Lord of hosts to move. For when heaven steps, no plot survives. Type "I am guarded" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 3333 is now alive over you. Be still. This is the first command. When the clouds rumble, when whispers spread, when shadows move against you, resist the urge to rush, to speak, to defend. For heaven fights best when you do not. Silence is not defeat, it is strategy. Stillness is not weakness, it is the shield that blinds the adversary and strengthens your angels. The cry of heaven is not only lament, but also warning. Stay your hand, for your defense is divine. Your life must now become a sanctuary. Establish rhythms that anchor you in identity. Each morning, step into a brief silence, even 10 minutes, where you breathe and remember who you are. Whisper, "I am sealed. I am chosen. I am remembered." These are not empty affirmations. They are declarations that summon the armies of heaven to your side. And when the night comes, close your day with gratitude, writing down what was preserved, what was delivered, what was unseen but real. This ledger becomes a record not just of events, but of victories. Guard your silence. Not every story must be told. Not every thought must be shared. Not every detail of your journey belongs in open air. Silence hides movement, and movement hidden cannot be sabotaged. Limit unnecessary meetings. Protect your social space. Keep your inner circle to those who have proven their loyalty by fire. No more than 3 trusted names who carry your confidences without distortion. Pray with simplicity. You do not need long speeches. Say only what seals your soul. I remember who I am. My name is written. Angels walk beside me. Heaven does not respond to theatrics, but to truth spoken plainly. Each declaration is like a stone in a wall being built around your life. And those walls stand strong when storms arrive. Practice spiritual hygiene. Fast, not only from food, but from noise, from toxic media, from voices that cloud your mind with fear. Give yourself a Sabbath rest where you listen to nothing but the whisper of God in creation. Protect your input, for what you feed the soul will either anchor or erode your faith. Create tangible signs of covenant. Write your prayer on paper and slip it beneath your pillow. Wear a small token that reminds you of heaven's nearness. Light a candle at dawn, not for ritual, but for remembrance. These are not superstition, they are anchors. They keep your eyes on the unseen when the visible shakes. Document everything. Write down the encounters, the words spoken in passing, the dreams that do not fade. Date them. Record them. What you capture will one day testify against the lies that try to erase you. Heaven honors witnesses, and you must be your own. Protect relationships with wisdom. Speak truth, but with love. Refuse the bait of gossip. Keep your communication short, clear, untainted. Do not give the adversary ammunition through reckless speech. If safety demands it, protect yourself in the natural. Secure your accounts. Guard your passwords. Limit the windows through which strangers peer into your life. This is not fear. It is stewardship. Most importantly, assign a witness. Choose one soul to whom you will give account each week. Say aloud to them what is happening, not for their fixing, but for your anchoring. Heaven blesses agreement, and when two stand together, angels double their guard. Know this, what you are building is not a posture of fear, but of strategic rest. You are not shrinking back. You are positioning yourself for heaven's advance. When you hold your silence, when you guard your name, heaven moves faster, clearer, stronger. The cry of angels shifts from grief to battle cry, and they surround you like flames. Be still, chosen one. Heaven advances while you are still. Type I am covered in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 4444 is now protecting you. The hour of hiding is closing, and the hour of rising is upon you. The cry of angels that once wept for your forgetfulness now shifts to a cry of command. Remember. Rise. Stand in who you are. You are not the abandoned. You are not the overlooked. You are not the one left behind. The sorrow of forgetting has lingered long enough. Now heaven calls you into empowerment, into the unveiling of the true self that the clouds have concealed but never erase. Hear me, you are not who they think you are anymore. You are not defined by the wounds you carry, nor by the failures whispered behind your back, nor by the betrayals that cut deep. Those things sought to script you as a victim, but heaven has rewritten the scroll. The cry of angels is not a lament now. It is an announcement. The world will see what heaven has always known. Cast away the victim script. Hear how it sounds. I will never be enough. They always win. I am forgotten. These are the chains of falsehood. Replace them with declarations of power. I am chosen. I walk with heaven's armies. My name is sealed in light. Every exchange of words is a shift in the atmosphere. What you speak, you inhabit. What you declare, you become. See the vision of your transformation. Wings long folded begin to spread. The hidden fire within you begins to glow into a steady blaze. What was once a dim ember now roars with controlled intensity. You step out of the narrow room into a hall vast with purpose, a place built for your true stature. The angels who once wept now stand with swords lifted, proclaiming your rise. To rise is not arrogance. It is obedience. It is the acceptance of who you were always meant to be. Heaven whispers, take your place. And you will. Not to prove them wrong, not to silence every critic, but to show heaven true. Your empowerment is not revenge, it is testimony. Your radiance is not rebellion, it is remembrance. This empowerment comes in steps. First, acknowledge your pain. Do not deny it, for denial is not healing. Face it, name it, and let it burn away what cannot remain. Second, sharpen your calling. Write it down. Declare it each dawn. Let your spirit remember what it came here to do. And third, set boundaries firm and clear. Empowerment requires protection of the soul. Say yes only where heaven says yes, and no where heaven says no. Create daily moments of courage. Stand before your mirror and declare your name as heaven speaks it. Before entering any meeting, whisper your covenant aloud. Keep a ledger of victories, even small ones, for each is a stone in the altar of your remembrance. As you write, you will see patterns of glory weaving through the pain. Empowerment also reshapes how you walk among others. You will not need to shout to be heard. You will not need to fight to prove worth. Instead, your presence will soften yet strengthen. Your decisions will hold firmness no accusation can bend. Your principles will become unshakable because they are no longer yours alone. They are heaven's. See it now. Starries hidden in the clouds. Rising steps that no eye but heavens can see. You are being lifted quietly, promoted in secret, ascending into rooms prepared for your authority. And when the time comes, heaven will unveil you. The cry of angels will turn from sorrow into song. So rise now, chosen one. Rise not in bitterness, but in boldness. Rise not to echo the world, but to embody heaven. Rise, because your rising is the proof that you never truly forgot. You only needed to remember. Type I am rising in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 5555 is now lifting you. The heavens have spoken, and the reason for your trials is no longer hidden. What you endured was not random, and what you carried was not wasted. The angels wept because you began to forget, yet even in your forgetting, heaven remembered. The delay was not punishment, but preparation. The silence was not absence, but design. For now the veil is lifting, and the revelation comes. You are being refined, repositioned, and set apart for destiny too weighty to be rushed. The forgetting was permitted so that the remembering would be chosen. Heaven does not hand identity cheaply. It allows you to step into it with full consent, with a yes that echoes from the marrow of your bones. What seemed like abandonment was actually alignment. What looked like loss was a holy exchange. For only through emptiness can the fullness of heaven flow. Prophetic timing is at work in your life. The delay that frustrated you was heaven seasoning your authority. The doors that refused to open were not locked in cruelty, but held shut until your name was ready to be carried without corruption. Heaven does not send immature voices into battle. It waits until the vessel can withstand the weight of the oil. And now, the cry of angels has shifted. Their weeping is thinning. Their voices are rising in declaration. It is time. What awaits you on the other side of this unveiling is not small. There are names to be restored, resources to be returned, and doors that will swing open wide. What was stolen will not just be replaced, it will be multiplied. See it, a ledger being balanced, columns of lack turning into overflowing accounts. See the crown being forged in secret, hammered in the silence of your waiting, now ready to rest on your head. Signs will confirm this revelation. A phrase repeated by strangers. A provision that seems small, but perfectly timed. A voice speaking favor when none was expected. These are heaven's fingerprints, marking the trail of restoration. Pay attention. Do not dismiss the small signs, for they are the heralds of greater things on the way. Remember, you are not walking alone. Angels are not passive, they are active. They guard, they negotiate, they fight on your behalf. While you slept, they were restoring what was taken. While you wept, they were marking the places where justice will flow. You are not forgotten, and you are not defenseless. Now is the moment to activate faith. Revelation demands response. Do not only hear this word, declare your yes. Say aloud, by my quiet, the heavens answer, restoration comes. Speak it until it carves itself into your spirit. For when heaven hears your agreement, the atmosphere shifts, and what was delayed begins to accelerate. Beloved, this season had a purpose. Every tear, every silence, every betrayal, it all bore fruit. And now heaven calls your name clearly, without distortion. The cry of angels was sorrow, but now it is proclamation. You have remembered, and heaven remembers you. Type I am restored in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 6666 is now opening over you. And as this revelation unfolds, I remind you, this message does not stop with you. It is a river meant to flow outward, reaching others who have also forgotten who they are. When you support this mission, you are not funding a platform. You are fueling a movement of restoration. The Spirit declares, as you sow into my word, I will sow restoration into your house. This is the moment to act prophetically. Use super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description to plant a seed of light. Every act of giving becomes oil poured over this message, ensuring that it reaches the ones heaven is still chasing. Do not treat it lightly. This is a holy partnership. When you give, angels move. When you release, heaven multiplies. I bless every giver now. May your support return as favor, as clarity, as breakthrough. Step into this prophetic act and watch heaven move on your behalf. Now that revelation has broken open, the hour of activation begins. Heaven does not release a word to simply comfort you. It releases a word to commission you. You are not called to stand still in awe of the clouds. You are called to step forward into the covenant written upon your life. The cry of angels was never meant to end in lament. It was meant to awaken you to action. And now heaven waits for your yes, because that yes activates the transfer of destiny already waiting in your name. Your activation begins with your voice. Speak it daily. I receive what heaven has kept for me. I step into it now. These words may seem simple, that they are gates. Each declaration you make opens what has been locked, accelerates what has been stalled, and summons what has been delayed. The enemy fears nothing more than a child of God who remembers and declares their identity. Your tongue is not small. It is a key. Use it. Do not wait for grand signs to validate your calling. Begin with the small, faithful steps that align your life with revelation. Heaven does not need spectacle. It requires consistency. Each morning, declare who you are. Each day, take one action that matches your destiny. It might be a new step in your vocation, one conversation of reconciliation, one creative act that had long been buried. These are not trivial. They are activations. Build for yourself a liturgy of dawn. Rise early and let the first words from your lips shape the course of your day. Identity. Mission. Surrender. Gratitude. Say aloud, I am chosen. My mission is alive. I surrender my steps. I give thanks for the unseen. This rhythm will not only ground you, it will open a channel for heaven to pour clarity into your spirit. Mark your journey with milestones. In 30 days, strengthen one spiritual discipline. In 60, birth one creative work. In 90, take one public step of obedience that reflects your destiny. These are not goals for ambition's sake. They are assignments designed to align you with the blueprint heaven has written. Choose accountability. Do not carry this activation alone. Find a covenant partner who will listen, pray, and hold you to your declarations. Heaven multiplies where agreement is present. When two agree, angels are dispatched faster, and the atmosphere shifts quicker. Partnership accelerates activation. And know the signs of progress. Dreams will sharpen. Favor will come suddenly in ways you could not arrange. Doors will open without effort, aligning you with opportunities that bear heaven's fingerprints. These are confirmations that you are moving not in your strength, but in God's timing. But do not mistake boldness for pride. Walk with confidence, yes, but cloak it in humility. Each step forward must carry the fragrance of gratitude. Remember, you are not self-made, you are heaven-called. To walk in destiny is not to boast in yourself, but to display the faithfulness of God. So let your declaration rise even now. I receive what heaven has kept for me. I step into it now. Speak it until your bones tremble with remembrance. Say it until your atmosphere bends to its truth. For your yes is not passive. It is the spark that ignites the fire of your calling. And picture this. As you take your step, mountains move. Valleys rise. Doors swing open. Angels who once wept now sing. For destiny is not distant. It is alive, it is present, and it is waiting for you to walk in it. Type I am activated in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 7777 is now igniting your path. There are things happening in silence that you cannot yet see, but they are no less real than the ground beneath your feet. While you sleep, heaven works. While you cry, heaven records. While you wait, heaven exchanges. For there is a transaction unfolding in the unseen realm, an exchange more powerful than any contract written by human hands. Angels are negotiating on your behalf, carrying your name like a sealed scroll into the courts of the Most High. This is the mystery. What was taken from you is not lost. It has been rerouted. The enemy thought he stole, but heaven only stored. What you believed to be the end was only a pause, a divine delay while angels gathered interest on your behalf. Debts are being turned into capital. Shame is being woven into honor, and losses are being multiplied into resources. This is the economy of heaven. It does not simply return. It restores beyond measure. Even now, unseen allies stand as witnesses. Ancestors who prayed for your bloodline, saints who interceded in silence, angels appointed to your path, all are bearing testimony before the throne. Their voices cry out, not in sorrow but in remembrance. This one is marked. This one is chosen. This one must rise. The transaction is sealed not by your striving but by heaven's decree. Feel the textures of this exchange. The comfort of knowing your tears are written in a heavenly ledger. The weight of justice being cued like thunder behind a closed sky. The subtle yet undeniable shift in the air when what was denied, and the natural is being released in the spirit. Though you cannot yet hold it, it is already in motion. Participate in this silent exchange with faith-filled acts. Write down what you lost and place it underwater, watching as the ink fades, symbolizing your release. Lift your hand to heaven and speak aloud the name of one thing stolen from you, returning it into the hands of God. These acts are not superstition, they are alignment. They place you in the current of heaven's economy, where restoration multiplies what was stolen instead of merely replacing it. And soon, you will see the fruit. Reconciliations you thought impossible. Provisions that arrive without explanation. Doors aligning so precisely they cannot be coincidence. This is the evidence of the silent exchange, the manifestation of what angels were handling in secret. Understand this truth. Nothing is wasted. No betrayal is unredeemed. No wound is without purpose. What the enemy meant for harm is already being written into your testimony. The cry of angels over your forgetfulness has become a proclamation of your restoration. So hold your patience with expectancy. Do not despise the waiting, for the exchange is unfolding even now. Some things will return suddenly, like lightning cracking the night. Others will unfold gradually, like dawn spreading across the horizon. Both are proof that heaven is faithful, and nothing is lost. Take this to heart. While you rest, heaven works. While you release, heaven restores. While you wait, heaven multiplies. The silent exchange is happening even now, and soon, what was hidden will be revealed in your hands. Type "I am restored" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 8888 is now surrounding your life. Justice is not silent, though it often moves in silence. In the unseen chambers of heaven, justice is active, alive, and already unfolding on your behalf. Do not mistake the delay of man for the absence of God. For while the world may overlook, heaven does not forget. Every act of betrayal, every false word spoken, every door closed against you has been recorded in a book that does not lie. And in that book, justice is written. The angels wept when you began to forget, but now they rise, for heaven's decree is about to be revealed. This is the promise. What was taken will return. What was withheld will be released. What was twisted will be straightened. And more. What you lost will not return in equal measure, but multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Heaven's justice does not simply balance scales. It tips them in your favor. It reverses shame into honor, exile into elevation, silence into song. The cry of angels that once sounded like grief now rises like a shout of triumph. Reversal is here. Picture it. The place where you were mocked becomes the very platform where you are honored. The closed doors transform into corridors leading to greater gates. The whispers of slander become testimonies that magnify your endurance. What the enemy scripted as your end is being rewritten as your unveiling. For divine reversal is not only about vindication, it is about transformation. Heaven will not just prove them wrong, it will prove you chosen. But hear this warning. Justice is not yours to seize with your own hands. Do not soil your testimony by reaching for revenge. Human retribution is small, fleeting, and empty. Divine reversal is eternal, glorious, and undeniable. Lay down the urge to retaliate, for the Lord has said, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay." Trust this, for when God repays, it is total, complete, and righteous. Prepare yourself, then, for reversal. Clean your accounts. Set your house in order. Repair the relationships heaven prompts you to repair. Release bitterness so that when restoration arrives, your hands are open to receive, not clenched in resentment. Steward the openings that come, for they are not random gifts. They are assignments. Handle them with reverence, for they are proof that heaven has remembered your case. Do not set your eyes on rigid timelines. Some reversals strike like sudden storms, instant, undeniable, overwhelming. Others roll out in seasons, each step more glorious than the last. Whether swift or steady, justice is guaranteed. The decree has already been written. The reversal is already in motion. The cry of angels bears witness. The hour is upon you. So stand now in boldness. Declare aloud, what was meant to harm me is turning for my good. What was stolen will return multiplied. My portion rises, and my name is restored. Speak it with conviction, for heaven listens. Speak it with authority, for angels respond. This is not wishful thinking, it is prophecy. It is law written in heaven's courts. The ones who struck against you will see the fruit of their own actions, and you will see the blessing that no hand can withhold. The reversal is not coming, it has already begun. Type divine justice in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 9999 is now working in your favor. The message is sealed, beloved. You were drifting into forgetting, but heaven has remembered you. The clouds carried the word, angels wept in sorrow, and yet here you are, awakened, restored, and called back into remembrance. This is not the end of the message. It is the beginning of a new chapter. You are no longer the one who sleeps beneath the weight of lies. You are the one who rises in truth, armed with identity, anointed with purpose, and sent forth with blessing. Hear this blessing now. You are covered. You are protected. You are restored. What was broken will not remain shattered. What was delayed will not remain stuck. What was forgotten will not remain hidden. The same angels who cried now surround you in strength, lifting you on wings of fire, guiding your steps into destiny. The covenant over your life is alive, and no voice of opposition can erase it. I declare over you, you are sealed, you are seen, you are sent. The God who called you has not changed his mind. The Spirit who awakened you will not leave you. The angels who attend you will not falter. From this day forward, let no shadow tell you that you are small. Let no betrayal convince you that you are forgot. Let no delay deceive you into believing that heaven is silent. You are remembered, and you are rising. Now take this charge with you. For 21 days, begin each morning with covenant. Speak your declarations. Guard your silence. Open your spirit. 10 minutes of stillness will build an altar within you, and that altar will shine brighter than any storm around you. It will remind you of who you are when the world seeks to make you forget. So repeat this now as your seal. Angels watch. I remember. I rise. Say it again until it becomes the rhythm of your heart. For as you declare, heaven aligns. As you open, restoration flows. As you rise, the cry of angels transforms into song. Beloved, the message has been delivered. Open it fully. Do not delay. For the clouds have spoken, and this word will not wait forever. Open before it disappears. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1010 is now sealing your covenant. And as this word seals over you, remember, heaven's message was never meant for you alone. It flows through you to others still trapped in forgetting. This is why we carry it together. When you give, when you sow, you become a vessel through which God's word travels farther than clouds, reaching souls who might otherwise never hear. The Spirit whispers, what you release into my work, I will release into your destiny. Through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you can step into this partnership. Your giving is not donation. It is prophecy in motion. It is oil on the flame, manna in the wilderness, light sent to those in darkness. And as you sow, I bless you with multiplication. May your support come back as answered prayers, as open doors, as restoration you did not even know you needed. This is your moment to act in alignment with heaven. Rise, give, and watch God move.